Mullenbrook.
So Kennedy and Mullenbrook back deep for the Little Hawks. Valente gets set to boot the ball, and we're about to kick off the 2003 high school football season. Here's the approach, the kick. High kick, it's going to be taken around the 10-yard line. Out to the 15 to 20, breaks one tackle, gets it up the middle, gets through a big hole, out near the 40-yard line, and finally drug down at the 42-yard line. So a 32-yard return for Phil Kinney right off the bat to spark this City High offense.
That was just excellent work by Phil. Looking for the opening, then slicing right through and bringing it down the field a little bit.
Good job by the blockers
Blocking
on that
up front.
City High kick team to create the couple wedges there. He got by the first one, got to the second one, and he was just short of the 40, and away he went. So City High will start 1st and 10 at their own 42.
Good field position here.
Twin receivers right side, I formation. Iman under center. Taylor in the back to give this to Taylor, and he is racked up right away behind the line of scrimmage, and he is met there by number 44, Austin Showalter for the Saints, and that's going to be a loss of yards right away on the first play from scrimmage for City High.
Well, right away, the Xavier speed is going to tell whether the Little Hawk offensive line can handle that, and for the first play, they got through a lot faster than I think the Little Hawks were expecting.
Grenko split out to the left side. Sabres looks to go in motion, stops, now goes out to the right side. Again, I formation. Ivan under center, barks out the signals. Gives it Taylor, second man through. He goes off the right side, and he's going to pick up about a gain of 6 right there to get a chunk of it back, and it should make it about a 3rd and 7 situation for the Little Hawks.
Well, that time it looked like at least they had a good push by the offensive line down the field. I think Coach Saber is probably trying to open this running game to make sure, since it's the first series of plays this year, try not to let DP get into any trouble passing the ball right off the bat.
Be curious to see if it's a 3rd and 8 situation, if they're going to roll them out and see what they do with them there.
Or even maybe a little option.
Grenko split out to the right side. In the slot is Sabres. Iman back to pass. He rolls out to the left, has some time, tucks the ball down, goes for a run, comes up the middle, gets across the 50 to the 45 to the 40, and gets a Little Hawk first down. And now you see why DP Iman is in that lineup with his quick feet right there.
That's right. I think that's the thing they were missing last year, that quarterback go back and couldn't make something out of nothing, and that time he couldn't find an open receiver. Was able to make something. I think the closest person to him was the official on the field.
2 years ago they had Connor Justice, who was very good at doing that. Stiers last year not as mobile. And this year they've got DP Iman, who picks up a big gain there, brings it out to the 39-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for the Little Hawks. 2 receivers on the left-hand side, I formation. Rolling out left side, and he's going to be swarmed by 2 defenders there, is DP Iman, and he's brought down there. And I couldn't quite see who the first man threw. I believe it was Craig Wymore.
That's
and
what it
Bo
looked like.
Russ there to get the tackle for a loss there for the Saints, and that's going to push the ball back to the 42-yard line, and that's going to be a 3-yard loss, bringing up a 2nd and actually, that's going to be a
It's a huge
8-yard loss.
Yeah.
It's going to be the 2nd and 18.
Well, it looks like if he doesn't keep some protection back there and just does a straight drop back, he might be in trouble. That rollout is what was working.
Just when he got out there to that left side, there was just 2 defenders right there. Handoff is going to be up to Taylor. He comes off the left side, a huge hole, gets a lot of yardage out over the 35, down to the 34-yard line, and picks up a lot of chunk of change there, but still going to be short of the first down as he's brought down actually around the 33-yard line, and that is going to bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards to go.
But that cuts it a lot in half. He didn't have to even worry about half that gain back, so that now they have a easily makeable gain to make first down.
That was a huge hole that was just open right there by Cody Clawbaugh and Tony Shutt right there, and just like the Red Sea parted, and everything was wide open. Split receivers out to the left. Sabres to the left. And as you can hear the whistles
like a little
going off,
motion.
there's going to be a little bit of motion there, and it's going to be offsides against
Delay game.
delay of game. Okay. Delay of game.
Looks like City Eye is trying to run Sabres with a little motion, just kind of works his way towards the middle or out, kind of like what you see in college football, where he's kind of shuffling down the line, just in parallel to the line of scrimmage. Probably trying to see how Xavier's going to handle this. So far, they've just had a man kind of stick with him as he goes out.
So that's going to back him up another 5 yards and create a 3rd and 9 situation. 8:46 to go in the first quarter. No score. City High with the opening drive of the ball game. Rocca and Sabres out to the left side. I formation. Altmaier, the fullback. Taylor, the tailback, and the give is to Taylor in a big hole. Actually, it was a fake to Taylor. Nyman has the ball, and he was smothered back in the backfield there. The ball comes loose and goes on the ground, and it looks like the officials might be saying...
I don't think it looked like he was down, and he just released the ball, and then the official never blew the whistle, and Xavier just jumped right on top of it.
I thought he was down in the play as well, but they're going to say no, and it's going to be a turnover for City High, and that's going to be a big break for Xavier as they get the ball in City High's territory at the 47-yard line to start their first possession off of a big turnover there by City High. Actually, it wasn't. I've got to apologize. It wasn't a turnover there. It was actually
they called him down and
it was a punt. So I was looking at the Xavier side trying to figure out what kind of offense this is, and I'm like, hold on, we're in punt coverage here. So I thought when the official said that he pointed the other way that they were saying that it was Xavier's ball because he did point the other direction.
They were just standing there waiting and on top of the ball like it had been a fumble, and he threw down his marker for the ball. Unless City High got it back underneath the pile.
No, that was a cluster on our part, I can tell you that much.
Yes,
so.
True.
Inside 8 minutes to play in the first quarter. Now Xavier will have the football.
They run
there to bring him under center. I formation. Pitch goes out to the right side. Gets some room on the right side and just barrels over across the 35-yard line out to the 36. And the tailback number 24, Nick Appleby. And that was a great collision. That was Kyle Weber. But a huge collision there.
He made 9 yards, but once he got hit, when the City High people caught up to him, they forced the fumble.
Got a huge fumble, and Kyle Weber is still down on the ground as he just got knocked, as he was just railed by a City High defender. I couldn't see which one it actually was. And the drive of the game for the Little Hawks. Two receivers split out to the right side. Grinko and Sabres, I formation. They give us the second man through Taylor. He goes off the left side, picks up some good yardage as it gets out. The fullback, Greg Altmaier, doing his job there and creating whatever he can there to get his tailback through. Split receivers out to the left side. Again, the give is to Taylor. He goes up the middle, barrels his way forward for the first down before being brought down by number 44, Austin Showalter for the Saints, and that's going to be a first down for the Little Hawks. They're going to put it about the 24-yard line. With 7:16 to go in the first quarter, and knocking on that red zone door, John.
That's right, as they move to left right across our dial.
On your radio dial. I formation again. Two receivers to the right side. Grinko. Sabres in close. The give is to Taylor. He's back up the middle again, bashing his way forward. Picks up another good chunk of yards there before he's brought down right around the 19 to 18-yard line. So a 6-yard pickup there is going to bring up 2nd and 4 with Kane McCarty, number 55, the linebacker for Xavier, making the stop for the Saints.
And I guess with all this work that Taylor's getting now, we'll see how he stands up for the rest of the game, or if he's planning on bringing in Kenny sometime later.
Kenny, I believe, was injured a little bit still from last year and some other things that he's not 100%, but I think Coach Sabres will be planning on using Kenny in the backfield, but he definitely is going to be playing some defense as well. Give it to Taylor. It goes up the middle again, and he picks up another couple yards there.
A little bit different that time. That was what we used to call the scissors play, where the fullback goes one way and the tailback goes the opposite way. Try and fool the defense into thinking that he's going to be following the fullback again.
Kane McCarty and Craig Wymore on the stop there for the Saints. Going to bring up a 3rd and about, call it the long 3 situation on the 17-yard line.
That sounds about right. Looks.
Phil Kenny is checking into the ballgame and Taylor is checking out, so just like that, we are somewhat prophetic as Taylor checks out and Phil Kenny checks into the ballgame in a tailback position for the Little Hawks.
Well, and Xavier plays a lot of people both ways, so whatever City can do to tire them out and bring some fresh people in there is going to help. It must have somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
Yep. Flags are flying right there before the play got off. The officials are talking with one another and saying, where do we want to go for dinner? And finally, the call is going to be made, and they're going to be looking at offsides, and they're going to call it on the defense. So that's going to give City High a first down.
That's one way to do it.
That's okay. There's no points for style, so
no, that's right.
Take it any way you can get it.
Hey, who do we credit that one to?
And the second penalty of tonight's game with 5:46 to go in the first quarter. Not terrible. They haven't been holding penalties, which is typically what you're seeing. They've been a delay of game and lying offside, so more mental errors right here than in the physical errors right now. So
Yeah, and it looks like we're bringing Kennedy in at receiver.
Kennedy and Grenko are split out left, I formation. Hyman under center, barks out signals. Gives it to Kenny. Kenny barrels his way up the middle before he's met by a whole host of tacklers and finally brought down
To the 7-yard line.
by big number 93 for the Saints, and that's Ryan Chiswick, the 6', 190-pound senior. And they got the ball inside the 10-yard line down to around the, what are we going to call that, 7?
Yeah, I think so.
Bringing up a 2nd and 5 situation, and the Little Hawks knocking on the door to get the first score of tonight's ball game. Again, Kenny at tailback. 2 receivers to the left. Grenko and Kennedy. They give it to Kennedy. He blasts up the middle, and again, Chiswick is right there to meet him, right about the 4-yard line. So a gain of about maybe 3 right there.
And that was the first time anybody got near him. Was that line just blew off the ball, blew the Kennedy defenders just straight back, and that was the first. It was 3 yards before anybody got near Phil.
Third 3 now at the 5-yard line.
So Altmaier comes off the field for the Little Hawks. I'll check that. He's back in there. I thought he did come off, but he is still in there in the fullback position. And the give is to Altmaier this time, and he barrels his way forward, gets it inside the 5-yard line, somewhere close to about the 4.
Okay, now we see what we do. We have 4th and short, inside the 10, inside the 5.
It's going to bring up a 4th down situation in the long one, call it 2. Ball at the 4-yard line. D.P. Hyman coming back there, but so is number 50 and number 14, Joel Rocca. And it looks like they're going to try and make a statement here early in this ball game, and they're going to go for it.
Well, they're going to have to hustle because I think they were a little late coming in, so they don't get another delay game.
Taylor back in at the tailback position for the Little Hawks. Sabres lined in close. Rocca on the right side. Sabres shuffling in motion a little bit. Roll out right side is Hyman. He's got somebody on him. He pitches it to Taylor, but Taylor's going to be brought down at the 10-yard line by number 24 for the Saints, Nick Weber. And that's going to end the drive for the Little Hawks as they lose 6 yards on that play, turn the ball over on downs, and it's going to be Xavier's football with 3:20 to go in this first quarter and no score on the board yet.
I always catch it and at least go down with the ball.
Yeah, you're lucky it didn't get scooped up and run the other way for more yards. Sayre brings up the Saints to the line of scrimmage. Give us to the second man through. That is Nick Appleby, and he's going to pick up maybe a yard at that as he's met right away at the line of scrimmage there by the City High defense.
And this deep in their own territory, they're probably just going to be satisfied to try and get some yardage on the run.
Greg Altmaier on the stop for the Little Hawks. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8 as they're going to spot the ball on the 11-yard line.
And here they go.
Gibbons is the first man through right off on the short play. Just goes off the right side. Number 22, T.J. Johnson, the ball carrier there, and he's going to get the ball out near the
Get a couple more
13-yard
yards.
line.
Yep.
Call it another gain of 2, and going to bring up a 3rd and 6 situation for the Saints.
Well, it looks like they're staying. They're trying to split a couple of receivers out wide to at least pull some of the City High defenders off the line of scrimmage. But defensive line at City High is holding their own in there.
Nick Weber split out to the right side for the Saints. Johnson the first man up. And Sayre goes down the right side of the option, pitches it off to the second man back to Appleby. And he's not going to get a whole lot of yards. There's Nick Appleby is going to be corralled right about the 18-yard line.
Stuck about 3 yards short. 2.
It's going to be about a pickup of 5, so you're going to bring up about a 4th and 3, possibly 4th and 2. And Xavier's going to have to punt this football.
Well, City High was really crowding the line. Out of their basic 4-3, they were pulling their linebackers up there. They almost had like a 7 front.
Mullenbrook and Rocca back to receive for the Little Hawks, and John Geppert to do the punting for Xavier. The pass goes back. Almost looked like a fake punt, but it gets off a boomer as this driving back Mullenbrook inside of 30 to the 25. He picks it up, has a little bit of room right there, gets it near the 40-yard line where he is brought down by number 83, Zach Robson for the Saints, and that's where the Little Hawks will pick up their 3rd drive of the ball game.
And that was a strange punt play.
It almost looked like he was going to take off and run. He brought that ball up high and then ended up getting off a very good kick.
That might be the way he punts, but it looked like the City High defender was in. He could have blocked that punt.
At their own 37-yard line.
We might see that a little bit later on in the game.
Grenko going out, split left. Kennedy in tight to left side. Give it to Taylor. Big hole up the middle. And he cracks through one defender. Gets it just shy of the 50 as he's brought down there by number 42 and number 21 for the Xavier Saints defense.
It's real close to a first down. See what the officials call. First down. So a 10-yard gain.
Matt St. Andrews and John Geppert in there on the stop for Xavier. As just a big hole wide up the middle there between Stewart, Muller, and Collins there. And he just barreled right through. And a big first down there. So a pickup of 10 and a first fresh set of downs for the Little Hawks. Just shy of the 50 in their own territory. Give us to Altmaier, the first man through, and he's going to be wrapped up right away. Be lucky if he got back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
It looks like maybe even a little bit of a loss on it.
Tyson Worth, the ball carrier.
Actually, Tyson Worth was the ball carrier there, wrapped up by Kane McCarthy.
Smith on the stop.
You say Matt Smith, I say it's McCarthy. It looks like number 55 to me. So
Must be that eyesight.
yeah, mine's not good, trust me.
Mine's not any better.
Grenko out to the left side split, inside tight is Kennedy. Iman goes under center. Roll out left side is Iman. He's under pressure, throws the ball, has a receiver down there, and it's caught at the Xavier 35-yard line. That is an 18-yard completion to Ryan Kennedy, and a huge first down, and keeps this Little Hawk drive going as they get inside the Xavier Saints territory. So a big 18-yard completion there from D.P. Iman to Ryan Kennedy, and I believe that's his first completion of the
I
night,
think
is it
so.
not, John?
Yep.
I think so. You're doing stats.
Yes, it is.
Grenko split out to the right side, in close his Sabres. Iman barks it out, gives it up to Taylor. He goes off the left side, cuts it across the 30 down to about the 29-yard line. So a pickup of 6, and that's where we're going to end the first quarter. No score in this ball game. It's 0-0 with City High with the football. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
They're trying to do some misdirection, send the fullback one way, tailback the other way. So
Michael Sabres in tight I formation. Tyson Worth, the fullback. Looks like Taylor is your tailback. He gets it, spins across the middle of the line. Not much there as he's brought down right about maybe the 28-yard line, possibly a gain of 1 there, as a host of tacklers there, led by big number 63 for the Xavier Saints, and that's Showalter on the tackle there.
it looks like about a 3rd and 3 for Little Hawks. But this is going to be 4-down territory for them, so they've got 2 downs to probably pick it up.
3rd and 2 now at the 28-yard line.
3rd and 2, 28-yard line for the Little Hawks. Out to the right side is Rocca and Sabres. Worth and Taylor in the backfield. We've got some movement
Whoa!
on the right side of that defensive line.
Let's see if
Both teams are pointing at each other and see which way the official's going to call this one.
looked like Iman was trying to draw Xavier Saints off sides with his play call, well, his counts.
And they're going to say that he did.
Offside penalty.
So first down by penalty again.
That's the second time this ball game that the Little Hawks have gotten a first down by penalty. And again, there is no points for style. And I'm sure Coach Sabres isn't going to give it back.
Well, that's what you get in the habit of. The quarterback calls it on the same count all the time, da-da-da-da-da. Then all of a sudden he comes up there and he doesn't do it, and the defense has already been geared to that play call. He got him to jump.
11:19 to go in the first half, still no score. Sabres in tight to the right side, split out wide is Rocca. Taylor is the tailback, Worth is the fullback. Iman under center. And they give it to Taylor. Big hole off the left side, a lot of running room. Gets the ball down to nearly the 10-yard line.
Like
And that's a huge gain of 13 there for Taylor, and another Little Hawk first down.
And that's right. That offensive line, I think, is starting to take control. They're a lot bigger than the Xavier defensive line, and I think they're wearing them down.
And again, the defensive back has to make the stop for Xavier, John Geppert, As inside the red zone again, a fresh set of downs. Hyman leads them up under center. To give it to Taylor, second man through. He's just barreling two defenders right back inside the 10-yard line there. Gets it inside the 10 to about the 9.
Might even be down to the 7.
Ryan Chiswick is one of the people right there to bring him down, but he took Chiswick probably a good 2 yards back. From this angle, it's sort of hard to see, but it does look like they got it marked around the 8 to 7 yard line there.
We have this beautiful viewpoint.
Yeah, a beautiful vantage on the other 30. Hyman leads them up to the line of scrimmage. I formation again, shuffling in motion with Sabres. Give it to Taylor. He's met in the backfield there right away and brought down for a loss. Brought down by Kane and number 42.
So we have called that
St. Andrews.
little counter trap that he tried to run. It looked like the guard was pulling to open up a hole and couldn't get across because the Xavier defensive line got across faster than the pulling guard could get over there.
St. Andrews and McCarthy in there for the stop for the Saints, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation, about the same area here where the last drive for City High stalled. Hopefully this time they can kick it into gear and punch that ball in the end zone and get the first 6 points of the ball game. Hyman rolls out to the right side, eludes one defender, puts the ball down, scampers out to the right side, inside near the 5-yard line where he's going to be finally brought down. And that's going to be a pickup of 5. We're going to bring up about a 4th and 5 situation for the Little Hawks. As under pressure was Hyman. He tucked the ball down and again, showing good awareness of the field, picked up 5 yards and made a play that could have been disastrous and did some positive yards.
Looks like we might be seeing the field goal attempt.
Kicker is number 88, Matt Maynard, and he is on to attempt the field goal. The ball is spotted at the 10-yard line. It'll be a 20-yard field goal attempt, and it is up. And looks like it is wide left and not going to be good.
Boy, he had a lot of leg into that. He could have kicked that from a long ways away. However, I think being that close, he just couldn't quite line it up between the uprights.
He was on the right hash mark there, and he did give it quite a bit of a boot there. 1st and 10 on their own 5-yard line.
Well, they should be out on the 20.
Oh, they did bring it out to the 20. You're right. I'm sorry.
Since they tried the field goal.
Yep. Sayre back to pass. Has the receiver out on the flat. It's complete near the 30-yard line.
About 9 yards.
And they got that one complete out there to number 2, John Maher. And that's his first catch of the game and the first completion of the game for the Xavier Saints. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 1 situation just short of the first down.
2nd and 1 from Xavier's 29.
At least they're getting down to where we can see them again.
A 5-3-4-3 look defensively for City High. Ball gives off to the left side there, number 22. That's T.J. Johnson. He rambles up maybe out to about the 32-yard line to pick up a 3. As Altmaier is in there on the stop for the Little Hawks. And that's going to be a first down as it's going to move the chains inside 8 minutes to play in the first half. Still no score. Xavier with the football facing a 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line.
What City High needs now is just to stop them right here while they're down in their own territory so that they can get the ball back with good field position with plenty of time left.
Sayre brings them up under center. Drop, quick pop pass out there. It's to Weber, but going nowhere quickly, as good swarming defensive coverage there by the Little Hawks. And the first man in there is number 22 to make the stop, and that's Phil Kenny, and he made sure that one went nowhere.
In fact, he may have lost.
Maybe a yard or two on that one, and it's going to be at the 32-yard line.
No gain on the play.
So they did say he got back to the line of scrimmage on that one. Going out to the left side is John Maher for the Saints. Right side is Nick Weber. Give this to Johnson, first man through. Actually, no, it was a fake, and the Sayre kept it, and he's just going to be swarmed under by the Little Hawk defense there. Altmaier in there on the stop, along with number 89, Michael Sabres for the City High Little Hawks. So they're going to wrap them up again with no gain. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 for the Saints. 6:38 to play in the first half. No score. So a good defensive effort here tonight by the City High Little Hawks.
I think the Little Hawk defensive line got in and disrupted that play because it looked like he might have wanted to go down the line with it to the tailback.
Maher again going out split left. Split right is Weber. The tailback is Appleby, Johnson in at the fullback. Sayre under center for the Saints. I formation, dropping back to pass, and he gives it to Appleby. A lot of room wide up the middle. Gets it out to the 45-yard line. Ball squirts loose, but Appleby is going to fall on it as he's going to get another first down, bring it out near the first or midfield stripe, and that's going to be a gain of 15 for Nick Appleby, and that's going to give the Saints a first down. When it looks like City High had him pinned there, that little draw play on third down gets him the first down.
It was a good call by the Saints because the Little Hawks definitely were expecting a pass on that one.
They were coming, and when they were coming, it just left that draw wide open. Twin receivers left side. It's Maher and Weber. The right Johnson, he's the first man through. He has a hole there. He's going to pick up some big yards there.
Like about 13.
As he's popped there by Rocca for the Little Hawks. And that's going to bring it over to the midfield stripe. Be another first down as they get the ball out to the 42-yard line. And a 1st and 10 for the Xavier Saints. So Xavier, for the first time tonight, getting something rolling on offense. Coach Dan Sabers on the sideline is just screaming, man, as he rips off the headset. And he has given these Little Hawks an earful. He does not like one of it is momentum swings and getting things going your way. And you just open the door a little bit like they have for Xavier. And now you've got to fight to get that momentum back with 5:43 to go in the first half, no score. Appleby split out to the left side. Maher to the right side. Checked out. Weber is out to the right side. Appleby is the tailback. Johnson's the fullback. Pitch goes to Appleby. He's out to the left side. Gets it out to the 35, down to the 32-yard line. A pickup of 9. So Appleby is going to be just short of the first down, and that's another big play, 3rd in a row. And you look at Coach Sabers on the sideline putting his hands up and said, let's go, guys. That's the 3rd play in a row where we've given up big yards.
Well, and they had run inside, and then all of a sudden they whipped that sweep to the outside, and they caught City High the ends. They got them hooked, and so they were able to pick up that a big yardage play. But we're sitting here measuring now.
They are going to measure to see if they got the first down. As Greg Altmaier for the Little Hawks is looking off to the sideline, seeing what we're going to be calling for a defensive play, as the official signals just short. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and less than a yard for the Saints.
Not only less than a yard, less than a football length.
As we're going to move the ball out to the left hash for the Saints. Saints going left to right on your radio dial. 5:25 to go in the ball game, no score. Xavier with the football.
Come on, Little Hawks.
As you listen to the background here, not a lot of noise here in the stands right now. Sort of the wind has been taken out of the sails, so to speak.
Kind of waiting to see what's going to happen.
With this Little Hawk crowd.
See, your ambulance finally showed up.
There you go. Left is Maher, right is Weber. Appleby the tailback, Johnson the fullback. Sayre keeps it himself, goes off the right side, gets a surge to the 30, then pulled back, but he's going to have enough for the first down as the quarterback sneak off the right side is going to get a new set of downs for the Xavier Saints.
Well, that was a pretty good quarterback sneak. He didn't just try to dive his head and poke it in there. He took the ball back and then found the hole on either left or right side. It probably had the option to go in either way.
Right, he was just going to look and see whichever way he found daylight, just took the step back, plunged forward, and there he went. Weber and Maher, twin receivers to the right side. Sayre under center for the Saints. Barking out the signals. He gives it to Johnson, first man through. He pounds his way forward out to around the 25-yard line, a pickup of 5.
And this
Fisher
is when
stop for the Little Hawks.
City High needs a little gut check here. They're going to stop Xavier. Xavier's having a pretty good drive right now, and City High needs to stop it and get something established before halftime for themselves.
Sturgill checks into the ball game for Phil Kinney. Again, I formation, twin receivers out to the left side. Sayre under center. Again, they give it to the first man through. Actually, he keeps it, goes off the left side. He's going to be inside the 25-yard line. He's going to be racked up before he's brought down there by Jack Butler.
Just running that straight option, fake to the fullback. Usually you have the option of giving it or pulling it out and then going down the line and pitching it or taking it yourself. That time he kept it.
Actually, Altmaier on the stop there. I thought I saw number 44, but it wasn't. It was actually 32, Altmaier, who made the stop there for the Little Hawks.
Well, we'll see what can happen here with the Little Rock defense.
Twin
Come on.
receivers come out to the right side. Again, I formation. Sayre brings them up under center. Ball to the 23-yard line. 3rd and 3 situation. Whistle blows before underway, and it looks like it's going to be a delay of game call on the Saints, and that's going to back them up and make it a 3rd and 8 out to the 28-yard line, and that dramatically changed the play call that you're going to have here.
Oh, that's right. That ought to help City High a little bit. Although it kind of opens it up a little bit more. Again, you were expecting the pass, and that's when they threw that draw in last time. This time you probably could see anything from a draw to a screen pass.
Yeah, you're going to have to stay home in the middle there when you see everything breaking loose like that. You got to say draw, stay home, and take a look at that and try and stuff that up the middle best you can. As again, Altmaier looks over the sidelines to get the defensive signals for the Little Hawks. Tight formation this time for the Saints. Rolling out, dropping back to pass. It goes out to the right side. It's fluttering and goes out of bounds as Sayre was hit as he threw that football, and it just fluttered out of bounds and goes nowhere, incomplete. And that's going to bring up a 4th and 8 for the Saints. 3:30 to go in the first half, no score.
So
And I imagine the Saints are going to have to go for it, looking where this territory is here. Too long for a field goal, too short for a punt. So they're going to have to go for it here on 4th and 8.
Whoa.
Yeah, they're going to try a field goal from 45 yards.
Adam Valenta to attempt.
And Valenda is on to try a 45-yard field goal. Passes back, the kick is up, it's low and it's wobbly. It may have the distance, and it does, as it just barely sneaked over the goalpost. And we had the first score of the ball game, a 45-yard field goal by Valenta for the Saints, and that gives the Xavier Saints a 3-0 lead.
Well, down into the game, and now all of a sudden Xavier puts together a scoring drive, takes a lot of time off the clock, and gets some points on the board, something City High hasn't been able to do yet.
Sort of a staggered set for the Saints on the kickoff. Valenta gets a foot into it. It's a low-line drive. It's going to be taken by Kenny at the 5-yard line. He's out to the 10, the 15, to the 20. Breaks the set of tackles out to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, to the 42-yard line. Still on his feet, to the 45, to the 46-yard line, and a 36-yard kickoff return by Phil Kenny. So 2 kickoff returns tonight by the Little Hawks have been big ones out of the gate there for the Little Hawks.
Well, they're almost to midfield. They've got some plenty of time from that distance. They ought to be able to get something established here. Kenny's put them in a good position to do some scoring.
3:15 to play in the first quarter. Little Hawks with the football. They trail by 3-0. Coming out on offense. Taylor is your tailback. Altmaier is your fullback. Sabres split out to the right side. Grenko out to the left side. Looks like Sabres and Grenko not sure where they're supposed to go. Now they're going to take set in their position. BP Iman under center, barks out signals. He's rolling back to pass. Trying to set his feet, tucks the ball down, finds a little bit of room, but he's going to be brought down by the big defensive lineman, number 72, Peyton Reynolds, down around the 30, say 41-yard line, but there's going to be a flag in the backfield, and that's usually where you see the holding penalty called there, John.
Well, I don't know. That's every official threw his flag right away. I think it might have been an illegal formation.
Both receivers did look at them as where.
Well, they were both moving at the same time. That's what was strange to me. Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure is the penalty given to
They are going to decline it.
Yep. Lost 4 yards, might as well.
Yep, they did lose 4 yards.
2nd and 13.
And you're right, both receivers were in motion at the same time, and I believe that's what they're going to call. The receivers to the right side, I formation. Sabres shuffles in left. The give is to Taylor. He's met right at the 42-yard line, and he is going nowhere as he is hit hard right away there again by the big defensive end, Peyton Reynolds. And that's going to be a loss of possibly another yard. Going to bring up a 3rd and 13 situation from the 43-yard line.
It's hard to run anywhere if you can't get that first man out of the way.
No gain on the last one.
But nobody's putting a hat on Peyton Reynolds as he just is having a heyday here these past 2 plays for the Saints.
Well, the Saints had that momentum now with the score that they got with that big 45-yard field goal, and they're looking to put the hurt on City.
Grenko split out wide to the right side, in close is Sabres. I formation, the whistle blows from the backfield, and we might have a delay of game, and we do. That is the 2nd delay of game penalty that has been called on the Little Hawks tonight, and that's something that D.P. Iman is going to have to take charge of. That's his responsibility there to get the play off in time. He's got to know where he's at on that clock.
Well, he's been running over to get the play from Coach just about after every time they've had a play run. He comes over to the sideline, gets the play, and runs back onto the field. That takes some time.
2:10 to play in the first half. 3-0 your score. Favors Xavier. The ball goes to Taylor. He's off the left side to the 40, to the 45, out to the 47. So he's going to pick up 9. But it's still going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 4th and 18 situation. 4th and 12, I should say.
Yeah, Xavier calling timeout, trying to get some clock time for themselves.
First half, City High trails Xavier 3-0. You're listening to City High football on AM 1630 KCJJ.
Hi, I'm Andy Knievel from
Hi, Andy. The Saints lead. Going back to receive is number 29. That is Nick Appleby for the Saints as Ryan Kennedy goes back for the punt. The snap is low. He gets it off. It's a high kick. Appleby back around his 21-yard line where he's going to field it. Breaks one tackle, gets it out near the 40-yard line.
They got the wall.
Another one. He's got it past midfield.
One man to beat.
To the 35, to the 25, to the 20, down to the 10, and a touchdown. And that is going to be a 45, or check that. He caught that as 35, is that correct?
Right.
So that's going to be a 65-yard touchdown return for number 29, Nick Appleby. And just like that, it's a 9-0 ball game, and City High has just been hit with a 1-2 Xavier punch.
Well, they got that kick back. It looked like a nice kick high. City High had it covered pretty well, but that speed of Xavier got him just to the outside, and he found the wall that they had set up for him.
So Nick Appleby makes it 9-0 as Valenta comes on to try the point after touchdown. The snap is back, it's down, it's up, and it's good. And it makes it 10-0 in favor of Xavier. For the Saints. 1:43 to play in the first half. City High still does have time to get a score on the board in this first half, but they're going to have to use some efficient clock management and have another good run back like they have the previous two.
Let's hope. Wonder if they're going to try and kick it away from him this time.
And the kick goes to Kenny. He's going to take it right at the 5-yard line. Gets it out to the 20, breaks over the 25 to the 30, to the 33-yard line. A 28-yard return for Phil Kenny, so he's had some good run backs here tonight for the Little Hawks.
He gets that little crease just a little bit, but somebody gets a hand on him, slows him down. Somebody else catches him. If we can just get past that first set of hands, probably see it down the field.
Ball's at the 33-yard line. Minute 35 to play in the first half. Little Hawks with the football. Grenko split out to the right side. Sabres in close. I formation again. D.P. Iman under center. He barks out the signal. Sabres shuffles in to give it to Taylor, second man through. He has a hole. He's out to the 40, and that's going to be a pickup of 7 yards for Andrew Taylor.
And Xavier's probably pretty content to let City High run the ball now and use the clock up, because with the 10-0 lead, they're in the driver's seat.
Matt St. Andrews on the stop there for the Saints.
Come on, Little Hawks.
Receivers split out to the right side. It's Grenko. Sabres again inside. Iman under center. And the snap is bobbled. Iman does pick it up. He's being chased, gets around the corner, picks up a couple yards before he gets knocked out of bounds at the 45. And we're looking for a late hit, and the coach is the one a late hit. But it's not going to happen. But making something out of nothing, he actually picked up about 5 yards there.
And I'll tell you why, because it's a little hard for the officials to see, because the Little Hawks are out past the line that they should be.
Oh, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 40.
Well, if he stepped out there, then he definitely was late hit.
If he stepped out the 40, he was up near the 45 when he got rocked, so that makes not a lot of sense to me. Going to bring up a 3rd and 2 inside a minute to play for the Little Hawks. Grenko again going out wide right. Altmeier's your fullback. Taylor is your tailback. Alex Fisher, your tight end. Iman rolls out to the right side, has some time, throws in the run, and it's going to be picked off by the Saints. It's going to be picked off by number 83, Zach Robson, as he comes up with it for the Saints, and another effort thwarted by the Saints, and that's going to give the Saints the football with 50 seconds to play in this ball game. They're going to have it on the City High 42-yard line, and inside City High territory, 50 seconds to play. They have enough time, unfortunately, to put another score on the board, and the City High defense is going to have to bow their necks here and really play some solid defense.
Oh, yeah. They want to get out of this half with only that 10-point deficit.
Maher and Weber split out to the right side. Gives it to Appleby in the backfield, and he is wrapped up there by Greg Altmaier and forced backwards. Nice play there by Altmaier as it keeps the clock running. And finally it stops with the timeout being called.
City. You're listening to City High Football on the mighty 1630 KCJJ.
Trips to the right, single receiver to the left for the Saints. Back to pass, empty backfield. Sayre, little screen pass up the middle. Gets it out to Weber, but it's sniffed out there right away, and it's going nowhere as Altmaier is right in there, Johnny on the spot to make the play there, along with Tony Schutt, and that one of effort there than what they've seen previously.
Well, that was a little like what... And City High has a few people playing both ways.
Weber split out to the left side. Maher to the right. Rolling out is Sayre. He's looking for Maher. Maher has it complete at the 25
Going out of bounds, yep.
And out of bounds. And that's going to be another first down for the Saints, and a smart play throwing it to the sidelines there. Gets out of bounds at the 24-yard line as Sturgill knocks him out of bounds for City High. So another completion there. Stops the clock as it's a 13-yard completion from Sayre to Maher.
Seems to be his favorite receiver out of the few passes that he's thrown tonight.
He looks very confident when he rolls out there to pass. I mean, he doesn't look like he's tentative or scared about anything. Maher to the right side. Weber to the left. Sayre again back to pass. Goes out the right side. It's tipped and it's caught before going out of bounds by Weber, but he's going to say, the officials say he's out of bounds. But it was tipped there by a Little Hawk player.
He didn't have control of it, I think, before he got out.
And it's a good thing it was tipped, because if it got to him any sooner, he would have had control, would have been a completion, and that would have put the ball at the 20-yard line for another 4-yard completion and would have stopped the clock. But as it is, it's 2nd and 10 on the 24 with 18.3 seconds to play. City High trails 10-0. Maher and Weber out left side. Again, I formation for the Saints. Sayre under center. Barks out the signal. He gives it to Appleby, the second man through. He's going to pick up about 2. A
like
flag
a penalty on there.
Thrown, and that's usually the vicinity of where holding is going to be called.
Remember, the ball carrier, there is a penalty on the play.
He picked up 2 on the play, but I think this one's going to come back another 10 on a holding call here. Officials looking at what they're actually doing here. They do point that it is against the Saints, but they haven't given us the indication yet of what the call is. As they're discussing it with the defensive captain, Mike Altmaier.
I'm going to have to take it
Illegal
because
motion.
we're in field goal range for the kicker.
I tell you what, that's an awful late flag for an illegal motion.
Well, it came from way outside.
Came from way outside, but it came way late
Yeah.
during the play from my vantage point. Trying to spike the ball as Sayre to avoid, because they don't have another timeout with 8.8 seconds, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 15, as they're going to have time to bring the field goal unit onto the field, and that is going to make it it's going to be at the 37-yard line. It's going to be a 46-yard field goal attempt for Adam Valenta.
Adam Valenta attempting a 46.
He's made a 45-yarder earlier in the second quarter. The kick is underway, and this one's going to be a little short as time almost winds out. 2.6 seconds to go, but Valenta's 46-yard field goal attempt falls short, and that's going to give the Little Hawks the football with 2.6 seconds, go into the locker room, regroup, and come out and play a better second half. Give is to second man Taylor. Taylor comes up over to the 20-yard line, and that's a gain of nothing really there.
Covered by Xavier.
Ball is fumbled, and Xavier comes up with it. Doesn't mean a whole lot as time has expired. So at the end of the first half, it's 10-0 in favor of the Xavier Saints, but there is an...
The ball and doing something with it, because just sitting there and being an extra blocker in the backfield is about all. And because they have a bigger offensive line, I think that's aided Iman for his running because I don't think Xavier can pick him up quite as quick.
He's not that
Whereas
big.
Kennedy's going to be above the line, and he's going to be able to see downfield, which should help his passing. But
Appleby to the left, Weber to the right. The whistle blows, and we're getting ready to start the second half of play. Fisher's kicker is high. It's going to be received about the 22-yard line, brought out to about the 24-yard line.
And that might be a design play to kick it high so they can get under and cover it because they didn't return it too far.
Johnson was the one who was the up receiver who caught that. And Danny Lake down on the tackle.
6 yards on the return.
So 10-0 your score
10 now at the 23-yard
Okay, Little Hawks, this is what we find out what we're made of.
in favor of Xavier. Xavier has the football. Weber split out to the right side. Maher to the left. Johnson is your tailback. Check that. Appleby's the tailback. The pitch goes to Appleby off to the right side. He's back to the 20, cuts it up to the 25 to the 26-yard line. So he's going to pick up about 3 there.
Appleby, the ball carrier.
Sabers in there on the tackle there for Liddy High and Altmeyer. Interesting combination with Michael Sabers plays a receiver, then he plays a down lineman on defense.
That's right. That's why I said he seems to be used more for a blocking back on the offense. Looks like Xavier's doing a little bit offset eye, try and get a little help on the one side to block.
Weber and Maher on the right side. Give us Appleby.
Fumble.
The ball is loose, and it looks like City High has it. Altmeyer, I think there is the first one through there.
Come on, officials, point the right way.
Actually, it was number
Yep.
33, Fisher.
Covered by E.J. Johnson.
Yep, they recovered.
Alex Fisher was in there, number 33 for City High, but couldn't quite get it. But it's going to be recovered by Xavier, I believe. But on that pitch play, it just wasn't handled well. And Alex Fisher coming in hard from his middle linebacker spot.
So they lost about 3 yards on that.
Ball was pushed back to about the 22.
Loss of 3 on that play brings the ball back to the 22-yard line.
Going to make it about a 3rd and...
Now that would have been a good momentum shift.
Yes, yeah, you picked that one up. And we're looking pretty. We're called 3rd and 12. And to give us to Appleby.
Yes.
And he is tripped up in the backfield.
There's
Michael
Sabers.
Sabers gets him down to 22. And there is no gain there. So Appleby with no gain, maybe a loss of 1, brings up a 4th and 12. And they're going to have to punt the football.
And this is what we wanted to see, was 3 and out.
John Geppert on the punt for Xavier. Back to receive for the Little Hawks is number 14, Rocca, and number 20,
No, he
Mullenbrook.
had a huge punt last time. We almost blocked it.
Again, it's that odd style that he has, and he kicks it out high right. He's going to let it bounce, and finally it's going to be picked up by Mullenbrook, and he's actually Rocca has the football, and he gets it out to about the 50-yard line.
We're right out to midfield. Great field position. Good job by the defense. Good job by the special teams. Get it back now. Get that offense going.
So St. Andrews on the tackle there for Xavier. On about a 16-yard return there for the Little Hawks. 10:08 to play third quarter. City High trails by 10, 10-0. And they're going to come out on their first offensive series here in the second half. Split out wide to the left is Grenko. In tight is Sabers. Altmeyer at fullback. Number 22, Kinney is your tailback. To give us to Kinney. He goes off the left side, breaks one tackle, breaks a second tackle by number 55. That's my buddy with the great name, Kane McCarthy. And he does pick up a yard or 2 on the play.
We get about
7 or 8.
8. I think 8.
A little more than a yard or 2 there. So a nice run there by Kinney, going off the left side and breaking some tackles there.
Another off-tackle play. See if he's trying to set something up here.
Altmeyer again in tailback or fullback situation. Kinney in the tailback. The give again is to Kinney, and this time he is racked up right away there.
They had pursuit from the backside.
He's hit first there by Wymore, the defensive lineman, and number 44, Austin Showalter for the Xavier Saints. And still in the quarterback for the Little Hawks is still number 13, DP Iman. So they decided to go with Iman to start this second half of play. And I think that's more for a confidence booster for him instead of maybe
I think
destroying his
you're right.
confidence there. Again, I formation. 2 receivers out to the left. It's Grenko. In tight is Sabres. The give is to Kenny. Kenny barrels his way up the middle. He's wrapped up there right away for not much of a
It's going
game
to be close.
there. Cheezick there on the stop there for the Xavier Saints. And
First
it's going to
down.
be close to first down. The official says it is going to be a first down, so keeps the drive alive for the Little Hawks in the 8:47 mark in the third quarter. They trail by 10-0.
Well, this is what we need, a sustained drive. Keep the Xavier offense off the field and just drive it down and get a score.
Fisher, the tight end on the right side. Grenko out to left side in tight is Sabres. Back to pass, rolling out is Iman. He's under some pressure. He tucked it down, and he's not going to be able to get away as he almost gets away, but then he is finally brought down at the 45-yard line for a 6-yard loss. Big number 72 and number 55, wrestled on 55 is Kane McCarthy, and the defensive lineman Peyton Reynolds. We've called his name quite a bit as well this evening for the Xavier defense, and that's going to back him up 6 yards and bring up a 2nd and 16 situation.
Well, he had that rollout to the right, and he had Ryan Grenko down the field, but he was about the only receiver in the pattern, and Xavier had it covered underneath, behind, and to the side.
Or he could just walk like that.
Maybe he's a cowboy.
I want to be a cowboy. City High comes up to the line of scrimmage, 8:09 to play in the third quarter. I formation.
We're tight.
Rock in the ball game. He's out to the right side. Pitch is given out to Kenny off the right side. He turns the corner, gets it out to the 40-yard line. He's going to pick up about 4 yards. Doesn't get out of bounds as the clock is still going to continue to move, and that's going to create about a 3rd and 14 situation. They're going to say he picked up 6 there, so it's going to be a 3rd and 10.
That looks good. Well, that was that option play to the short side of the field. Had to pitch it pretty quick. Kenny was lucky he got good 6 yards out back to the original line.
Rock out to the right side. Sabres in close. Back to pass is Iman. He's under pressure. He can't get away as he is just spun around to the ground there by Bo Rusk, and he's going to lose a lot of yards going back to the 35. So a huge loss there for the City High Little Hawks.
And it's just Xavier defender went right around the tackle for City High, right to the quarterback.
That's going to be a 13-yard loss, I believe. Bringing up a 4th and 24, and that doesn't help your rushing stats.
Not at all.
On the kick is Kennedy.
Oh, straight up.
Weber.
Not a good kick.
Not a good kick at all, as it's going to bounce right about
Ooh.
the 35-yard line.
Down to the 30.
Going to be down to the 30 there by Alex Fisher, and that's where the Saints are going to take over after a 22-yard punt there by Kennedy.
Went straight up, had a good roll to it, but it ran into a City High player because they were all down past the ball.
6:45 to play in the third. The Saints lead this ball game 10-0, and the first offensive series for the Little Hawks ends up in no points again.
And in the process, Xavier picks up about 8 yards on the exchange.
Maher going out to the right side. Left side is Weber. Johnson, your fullback. Appleby, the tailback. Back to roll out is Sayers. He's got some time, throws it upfield, and it's complete out to Maher as he gets it out to the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a completion of 10, and that's going to give the Saints a first down. So Sayers to Maher, just like that, another first down for the Saints.
You only get about 8 on that.
Boy, it looked like he was at the 40 when I had the glasses on there. Where did they start out? Oh, they started out at the...
They started out right on the 30. Well, he's only a yard short.
I think
Even a half a yard.
I can't lie with my eyesight here. I don't. Quarterback draw. He takes it up the middle there, and there's not much going there, but he may be enough there for the first down as he gets it over the 40, just past the 41, and that should be close for the first down.
Should be.
And it is as the chains are starting to move, so...
Must be because it's getting dark out. Beautiful night here, though.
Excellent night for high school football. Good crowd. Xavier brought a nice crowd with them, and the City High stands are full from our vantage point. Lots of people here that you know that you're the mogul to give is a pitch back to Appleby, and he's wrapped up there by number 32, Altmaier, right at the 41-yard line for really no gain. So a great play there by Greg Altmaier to bring down Appleby for no gain on the play.
So far, City High defense seems to be up to the challenge at the moment. They got to keep it going, though, because the offense has to do some to help them by controlling the ball.
Brings up a 2nd and 9, 5:50 to play and counting in the third quarter. Going out right is Nick Weber. I formation. Offset I, and flags are going to blow here. And we're going to have a lining up offsides, or is going to be a delay of
On
game?
one side or the other. It was a side judge called that.
Well, it's going to be against the defense.
City
It's
High.
going to back City High up 5 yards, and instead of a 2nd and 9, you're going to bring up a 2nd and 4, and those are costly. Those where you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, they still have a chance here.
Brings out to the 47-yard line, just shy of midfield. Weber again to the right side. Pitch goes to Appleby. He's got some room on the right side. He cuts it up, breaks across the line of scrimmage. Sabers there for the tackle.
I think he got a whole lot on that.
Just short of the 50, so I don't think he got more than a yard there. Altmaier in there as well with Sabers on the Little Hawk defense. Brings up a 3rd and about 4. Sayers in from the sideline with the play for the Saints. Maher coming out to the left side, out going on to the right side is Weber. Again, the offset I situation. Johnson is your fullback. Rolling out is Sayre, going out to the right side, throws it out, and it's complete to Maher. He breaks the tackle, gets it out to the 40-yard line. So that's going to be a 12 to 13-yard gain there from Sayre to Maher as he gets it just short of the 40-yard line. Fisher on the stop for the Little Hawks. 4:28 to play in the third quarter. 10-0 your score in favor of Xavier. The announcer says 11. Of course, I said 12. I can't ever get it right.
Well, at least he's got 50-yard line seats.
Yeah. Weber out to the right side. Offset I. Maher in spots position, rolls out right. It goes out to Weber. It's complete out near the 40, and he is brought down right away there. The ball comes loose there for a little bit.
Number 24, Nick Weber.
And brought down there on the play. Number 22, Phil Kinney, making the tackle for City High.
Well, that was just a nice little quick pass out there to see if something could happen. Could be setting it down and out. Setting that one up.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 9 situation for the Saints. Inside 4 minutes to play in the third. Weber coming out left, and again, Maher's out on the right side. Sayre under center. He's going to give the Appleby. He's got a big hole up the middle.
I think City High closed it down pretty quick.
Altmaier on the stop there for City High. Tony Shutt as well as in there as they get the ball down to about the 36-yard line, so that's a gain of 4. Going to bring up a 3rd and 4.
This is what we were looking at before when they threw that nice pass.
I say 3rd and 4, and of course the PA announcer says 3rd and 5.
He's just reading the scoreboard.
Sayre breaks huddle for the Saints, brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Weber out to the right. Appleby is your setback, and the whistle blows.
No.
We may have a delay of game here as it's coming from the back judge there.
Yep.
So that usually means delay of game, and that's what it is.
All right.
And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10, and finally a break for the Little Hawks here.
Let's see if they can do something with it.
So now it's going to be a pretty much a passing down here, so you're going to have to defend the pass here.
Well, again, last time they were one of those times in the first half when they're expecting that pass, they ran that good draw play.
Yeah, it was 3rd and 10 situation, just like it is now, and they ran that draw right up the middle there with the tailback, Appleby, and he got big yards enough for the first down. Rolling out is Sayre. He keeps himself, tucks it up underneath, and he's not going to be going anywhere.
About maybe 2.
2, possibly 3, as he is pounded right away there by Tony Sturgill for the Little Hawks, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 10. And if they kick a field goal here, I'm really going to be amazed. That's going to be a 49-yarder.
I would say Xavier might be content to try and punt it towards one of the corners and try and pin City High back as far as they can.
Mullenbrook and Rocca back to receive. On to do the punting chores is John Geppert for Xavier. The pass is back, and he's just going to drill it right through the end zone.
Oh, he
Almost
just
hit
missed the corner.
He was going for the corner. From this vantage point, it looks like it was just going to be drilled directly through the end zone, but trying for the corner was a little closer than I thought it was going to be. So the Little Hawks will have the ball on their own 20 to start their second drive of this third quarter with 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter.
We've eaten up quite a bit of time so far. The City High offense has got to get started here.
Don't say eating. I'm sort of hungry.
They need to gobble up some yardage.
There we go. Thank you. Kennedy and Grinko out on the right side. I formation again. Kenny in the backfield. DPIman goes back to pass. It's complete to Kennedy. He's got some running room as he breaks through a couple tacklers, gets it out to the 40, and that's a 20-yard completion for DPIman to Kennedy. And do you think that's going to boost Mr. Iman's confidence there?
Well, that's what we were talking about before the game is they have these great receivers. Why aren't we using them? And it could be just because it was his first game and they wanted to get him used to the offense. Now they can start to open it up a little bit more.
So you could say that's his favorite receiver. That's his only 2 completions have gone to Kennedy.
He's a big target.
And Iman goes rolling out again. The ball is tipped. It's complete. Oh, it just could not handle it off his fingertips. And Zach Buxton, he couldn't control it, and it goes out of bounds. And Buxton's just hitting himself in the head because that's a ball he probably should have caught there, John.
I think he was trying to turn upfield and start running
Yep.
before he even had the ball.
Yep. Without the ball, he was heading up the sidelines.
But at least they're starting to show that passing game. That might loosen up Xavier a little bit and open up the running a little bit more, too.
Buxton was in at fullback that time for Altmaier. Altmaier comes back in. And I was talking with Sabres about that 7-on-7 league they played in Ames and won the tournament. And they found out that Mike Altmaier could catch the ball. So you may see him throw to that fullback before this night is over. Rolling out to the right side is Iman. He pitches it back to Kenny. Kenny can't handle the pitch. It goes out of bounds. And nearly disaster, but it's averted as it goes out of bounds, and I don't think, they are going to lose about 3 yards, it looks like. That option to the short side of the field, that's always been...
Well, he's been doing that quite several times in this game. Forces the quarterback to have to pitch it a lot quicker than he normally wants to because you like to attack that defensive end with the quarterback.
But I tell you what, who ran that very, very well, either the short side or the long side? Connor Justice. I remember him running that, and he just did a marvelous job. Twin receivers to the right, single receiver out to the left. I formation. Iman under center. He's going to roll out to the left. Has some time. Throws it out in the direction of Sabres. Sabres can't handle it near the 50.
Off his hands right at the first down marker.
And there's a flag back near the 35-yard line. On a rollout like that, you wonder if procedure. I imagine that's probably going to be declining. They're going to bring up a 4th down and 13 situation here. It is, and that's going to bring on Kennedy to do the punting chores. As Appleby and Weber are back to receive for the Xavier Saints. The last punt for Kennedy was just a,
about 20 yards.
16-yarder. Wasn't that fantastic? Let's hope we can get off a little better punt here this time. Pass is back. Kick is away. It's high, not very deep. It's going to be fair caught right about the 35-yard line. So a 38-yard kick there, not terrible.
Gets them out of a little bit of a hole. Now the defense has to come back on again.
So the Saints are going to have the ball with $1:48 to go in the third quarter.
City I just cannot afford to keep going back and forth like this. They've got to get some offense sustained in this. Won't be this quarter.
Well, never
know.
Big turnover here would be nice.
That's what we need. And high school, you never know.
We talk about that momentum. Uncle Mo.
There you go.
Tight offset I formation again. Receiver out to the right is Maher. Sayer goes back to pass. Looking in Maher's direction and throws it up. And it is almost picked off, but it's complete to Maher. He gets it out near the 50-yard line. It's going to be complete for about 13 yards. Scott Knight on the stop for the City High Little Hawks. But it was almost picked off there by a little high defender.
Well, it looked like they finally were watching him.
With a 10-point lead, you're listening to City High Football on AM 6. These kids need.
Well, yeah, they need some crowd behind them. The crowd's real quiet. Kind of sets a tone for the rest of the game.
Sayre brings the Saints under center. Maher out to the right side, gives it to, actually Sayre does keep it as he goes down to the right side, gets to the 35 to the 36, or 34 I should say. Going to pick up about 3 before Greg Altmaier stops him in his tracks. I tell you what, we've just called Greg Altmaier's name a whole bunch this evening. You know, as we look at the Darren Newton All-State Insurance Player of the Game, he's one that we really got to look for his defensive effort and the blocking that he's done in his fullback position. I mean, he is having a whale of a ball game out there defensively, making a lot of plays. Receivers out left and right.
Oh, got a penalty.
Before the play gets off, the whistles are blowing, and let's see what the men in the stripes have to say this time. They're going to call that
Illegal
offside
procedure.
So, John, let me ask you this. What penalty in football is not illegal procedure?
Which one is not illegal procedure?
All penalties are legal procedure. You did something illegal.
Well, that's true. It just
Some sort of movement was illegal. Your procedure you're making was illegal.
That's true. Probably whoever originated these rules thought that that would be one to cover it all.
Brings up 3rd and about 7. Ball is going to be at the 41, check that, 39-yard line. Rolling out to his right, and the little dump pass out there is complete, and it's complete to Appleby, and gets it out to about the 36-yard line, so it'll pick up about 2 before Tony Sturgill rides him out of bounds. Interesting play call there for a 2-yard completion.
Well, I think they were looking for a little bit more out of it, but City High did get a little bit of pressure on it.
Brings up a 4th and 4 situation.
And again, we're going to play field position. They're going to try and pin him back and try and put it out of the corner.
Back to receive is Rocca this time. As Mullenbrook comes up, Gepper didn't do the punting.
Could be a fake, too.
I believe that's why Mullenbrook came up. They saw something there that tripped their trigger that way, so Mullenbrook came up and just left Rocca as the only receiver back there, and there's a flag back.
Well, I think they want to take delay game to put the ball back a little bit
Give
further.
himself a little bit of room to punt the football there. Tony Shutt checks out of the ball game. Tyson Worth replaces him in the City High lineup. And now both Mullenbrook and Rocker are going back to receive for the Little Hawks. As Geppert goes on to punt. An awkward style again, but he booms another one. It's going to bounce out of bounds and just roll the track and over the fence and out the street, and it's down First Avenue. What happened? What was the whoa for, John?
Said he kicked it out on the 10-yard line.
Oh. It is a whoa.
I didn't quite understand. He went all the way back to the goal line, and then he came up to the 10.
He was probably looking at where it went out, trying to get his angle, vantage point, and run up. You see him do it that.
Well, I see him doing that a lot. Usually it's not that far, though.
So City High with the football. They're going to have it at their own 10-yard line. Split out to the right side is Grenko. Back to pass is Iman. Screenplay is complete to Grenko. Grenko has some room up the middle. Carries the tackler and gets him out to about the 23-yard line. So a completion of 13 to Ryan Grenko, and a nice play there by City High.
Finally.
Geppert on the tackle as he was just riding Grenko there for probably 3 yards before he was able to bring Grenko down.
Well, you could see that he was going back for the screen because they were rushing him pretty hard, but I think they were getting in a little faster than he thought they were.
Two receivers to the right side, one to the left. Back to pass again is Iman. Sets his feet, throws over the middle, and almost knocked away. They say interference, but that was intended for Sabres. And the City High faithful don't really like that call. They thought it might have been a little bit of interference there.
Could have almost been both ways. Looked like a little hand checking by both the receiver and the defensive back. But that would have been a good completion because he would have had to thread that between two defenders to get it to Sabres. Although Sabres had like a head taller on them.
Brings up a 2nd and 10 situation. Ball at the 23-yard line, 9:45 to play in the ball game. City High trails by 10, 10-0. Hyman brings them up under center. Receivers out to the right side, one to the left. Back to pass, looking left. And it's picked off by Xavier, cutting across the middle and finally flagged from behind at the 15. But it's going to be picked off by number 81 for Xavier. And that is Tom Breitbach. And that's going to be the 2nd pick of the night for Xavier. So just when you look, it looks like you got things on track for your offense. That turnover comes up looming large.
Well,
and now you give this offense great field position.
Looked like he was trying to throw a quick seam pass to Grinko, and Grinko wasn't even looking back for the ball. But the defender was looking back for it.
So now you're really putting a lot of pressure on your defense here as you're giving them a fresh set of downs and you're giving them the ball right about the 14, 13-yard line. Sayre brings the offense under center. Goes back to pass, floats the ball out to the right side, going for Maher. Maher turns around the defender, gets it up and good as he just beat his defender there, 15, Tony Sturger. So a 13-yard touchdown play from Sayre to Maher makes it a 16-0 ball game.
Well, City High was bringing everybody they could to try and blitz him and try and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I think the quarterback recognized that, put the ball up into the air. It was just going to be his receiver that was going to get it. City High defender had his back to the ball, couldn't see Maher going for it. Pulled it down.
Valenta on for the PAT. The snap is back, the kick is up, and it just floats on through and good. And that extends the lead to 17. 17-0 in favor of Xavier with 9:29 to go in this ball game, and City High has their back to the wall right now. And that, even after that, Morris started to lead, so. Kick is on the way, and it's going to be received by Kenny at the 5-yard line. To the 10, the 15, out to the 20, trips, loses his feet, and going to be tripped up there by the Saints' Nick Bedard. And he's going to get it out to about the 21-yard line, so a 16-yard return there for Phil Kinney.
I think Xavier's waking up a little bit, kind of keying on him, knowing where he's going to be with the ball.
I think Kenny sort of stopped himself there. It just looks like he lost his
Had
front
a little
there.
footing.
Yep.
They did have one defender there. It looked like if he could have got around him, that he had some room to run.
Same thing.
Okay.
3 receivers, 2 out to the right, 1 out to the left. I formation. Taylor in the backfield. Back to pass. This time Kennedy's in the ball game, and he has it complete. Out over the 40, out to the 50 is Sabres. Or check it, that's Brinko. So a big completion of 36 yards. So Kennedy to Brinko for 36 yards, and that is a big, big confidence booster here for these Little Hawks.
35 yards on the play.
Kennedy just says, thanks for my shot, and I'm going to take advantage of it. He
That's
sure
right.
did by throwing a 36-yard strike, and a great play call there by the City High offense. Kennedy back to pass. He looks left. He fires, and it's incomplete as it goes over the head, as it was intended for Joel Rocca. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 at the 43-yard line of the Saints. And this is the first time I believe they've been into Saints territory all second half, isn't it, John?
I think so. Maybe even since the first quarter. Well, at least one thing with the passing game, incompletes are going to stop the clock, and the clock's not a friend of the City High Little Hawks right at the moment. Oh, got jumping on both sides.
Yeah. So 3 receivers in that time. You had Brent Jen in on the left side, and then you had Grenko on the other side along with Rocca. So that's going to back him up 5 yards and bring up a 2nd and 15 and put the ball at the 47-yard line.
That's all right. They still have plenty of downs and time to do things. They just need to get it going.
Grenko and Rocca to the right side, I formation. Number 81, Brent Jen to the left side. Taylor is your tailback. Kennedy goes back to pass. Jailbreak screen. Pass is complete out there to Grenko. Grenko with some running room gets down to the 30-yard line. So a 17-yard completion from Kennedy to Grenko. And Kennedy making the most of his opportunity right here for this Little Hawk offense and has some big completions, driving this football into the Saints territory.
And it probably helps a lot that he's been playing a little bit receiver, too, because he understands pass patterns and where things are going to be open, too.
Well, he knows what defense they're playing and what they're giving up by running those routes. You're definitely right there. 8:26 to play in the ball game. City High trails by 17, 17-0. Kennedy under center. Back to pass is Kennedy. Nothing there. He rolls out to his right, fires, and it's complete out to the right side for a completion of around 8. And that's going to be complete to Joel Rock out there in the sidelines. And it looks like they're going to give him about 8 yards in that completion.
I think so.
It's going to bring up a 2nd and 3, 2nd and 7, or 2nd and 2, I should say.
7 yards on the pass play.
Hyman on the sideline here with his helmet off, obviously not feeling the best right now. Had a tough night for his first start as a varsity starter. Tough kid, he'll bounce back. Again, back to pass is Kennedy. He's under some pressure, and this time he's not going to get away as he's going to be dropped there by big number 67. That is Cody, or check that, that is Matt Maloney on the tackle there for Xavier. It'd help if I had my card switched to the right side there, John.
35 now.
Loss of 2, going to bring up a 3rd and 5. Jen off the field for the Little Hawks. Taylor is your tailback. Out to the right side is Sabres. Back to pass is Kennedy, looking out left. Throws, and it's complete. Out to number 15, out near the goal line.
And he's in.
Up and good. And it's
all right
there to Tony Sturgill. A 25-yard completion from Kennedy to Sturgill. And the City High Little Hawks are on the board just like that with some new blood at quarterback. A 25-yard strike from Ryan Kennedy to Tony Sturgill.
25-yard touchdown.
And it's now a 17-6 ball game. On for the PAT.
Going to have a delay because we didn't know who was supposed to be in.
Matt Maynard on for the PAT.
Illegal substitution.
That's going to back Maynard up.
Well, the leg he showed the first time.
Yeah, he's got plenty of leg. His accuracy, he just
might be
pushed it a little bit on the last field goal attempt that he had.
Well, that was from a hash mark. This time he's in the middle. We'll see.
So just inside 7 minutes before City High, 7 minutes to go in the ball game before City High gets on the board.
Well, what do you think? Think we'll see an onside kick?
Real possibility. Kick is up, it's on the way, and he hammers that one through. Makes it a 10-point ball game, 17-7 in favor of Xavier. And the momentum right now is on City High's side. So, or Zach Buxton, a fullback. You've got a receiver over there, Pat Griffin, number 85, number 31, Greg Lala. So all of these are people with some hands, so I wouldn't be afraid to see the onside kick right here. And you got a lot of people up here on the Xavier
expecting
side.
it.
And they kick it deep. And a great kick there by Fisher that goes into the end zone and over the head of the receiver back there for Xavier, who happened to be Matt St. Andrews this time.
And one thing good about that, at least it puts it back on the 20, doesn't take any time off the clock, and hopefully the defense has been rested enough that they can go out and stop them.
Here's where the
turnover would be
emphasis,
great.
Yeah, the turnover would be great, but the emphasis that Coach Sabres has on being physical. Here's where we need to be real physical, force a turnover deep in their territory, get the ball back, punch it in the end zone. We got a 3-point ball game with 5 minutes to play or so if that could happen.
They're starting to hear a little bit from the crowd now.
Sayers gives up off to Appleby. Appleby breaks it out to the right side, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 1 yard. In there on the play looks to be number 33, Alex Fisher. So a loss of a yard. They're going to bring up 2nd and 11. So a nice play there by the City High defense. And the offensive success hopefully has awakened this defense to have success as well. Good job of getting them out of bounds. Surprising that they ran that to the out-of-bounds side to get the
I think he was trying to turn it up, probably, if he turned it up the field and keep it in bounds. You're right, they don't want to stop the clock.
Receivers split left and right. Ball is given up to Appleby. He goes off the right side, finds a hole, gets it out to the 40. One man to beat to the 40 on the other side, 35, 30, 20, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds back at the 34-yard line.
That was lucky.
Oh, that's way lucky, as that is a 29 and 16, a 45-yard jaunt there for Appleby. So Nick Appleby just hit that corner, went 45 yards, and I didn't see him step out of bounds, but again, I'm not the man in the striped shirt, and that doesn't matter. But luckily for City High that he did, because he was off to the races. He had the defenders beat, and
Yeah,
he
he
would
had
have gone for the touchdown.
the two City High defenders, but he was putting some distance between them. But he must have just stepped out of bounds right there.
Not what you wanted at this time in the ball game.
All right, Little Hawks, turnover.
Unbalanced line, left side to give the ball to Appleby. He goes off left side. He's going to be racked up right there about the 31-yard line, maybe a gain of 3.
Alex Fisher on tackle.
Fisher in on the stop for City High.
Pick up a 4 yards. Tackle is 6 at the Little Hawks 30.
Clock continues to run. 6:25 to go in the ball game. Xavier leads by 10, 17-7. Maher going out left. Weber out to the right side. Johnson the fullback, Appleby the tailback. Sayer under center for the Saints. He gives to Appleby, goes off the right side, gets to the 30, but it's going to be brought down right there by Greg Altmeyer again. And a pickup of no yards there is great. Greg Altmeyer out of his linebacker spot is just playing a whale of a ball game here, John.
That's right. Between blocking for the tailback and making most of the tackles as linebacker, it looks like calling the plays on defense. He's in for a busy night.
He does this for 9 ball games and hopefully more. He's definitely all conference and possibly all state the way he's playing right now in this linebacker position. Sayers under center. He rolls out to his left, plants his feet, throws left. He's going for Maher, and it's almost picked off there, but it's going to be incomplete. As good coverage there by the Little Hawks. As Fisher there on the coverage.
Interesting play call, unless he thought he was going to catch the Little Hawks sleeping, thinking that they were going to keep running and using up the clock. Instead, we stopped the clock. The incomplete pass.
Kinney over there on the coverage as well for the Little Hawks. So 5:24 to play with the clock stopped here.
Looks like they might be trying to take a delay again.
Well, yeah, they could be. It is a 4th and 6 at the 30-yard line. 47-yard field to go, Kemp. But they're not doing it. They decide to go for it on 4th down. And it's picked off by the Little Hawks. And a big break there. They get it out to the 30. And it looks like Phil Kenny, number 22, came up with it for the Little Hawks. So a great play there by Phil Kenny.
That's right.
Give them great, well, I should say great field position, but better field position than they would have had, possibly, as he brings it back out to the 30-yard line to give City High a 1st and 10. 5:17 to go in this ball game, and there's still some life left in this ball game for City High.
Still got time. All they have to do is get it down the field, get another touchdown, put it within 3.
And again, we go back to the momentum as Sabres just comes off the field, and he just looks exhausted. He's played a whale of a ball game as well. Jen coming in motion
And
from right to
a little
left.
confusion on the field.
Kennedy's going to call timeout with 5:17. First time out of the second half used by the Little Hawks, so they should have 2 remaining, I believe.
That's right. Okay, let's move it down.
Grenko and Rocco come out to the left side. Back to pass is Kennedy. Sets his feet, goes out to the right side. It's complete out there to number 32, Altmeyer, so they throw to the fullback out in the flat there. He gets it up to about the 36-yard line, so an 8-yard completion to Greg Altmeyer. So just when we said he's having a whale of a defensive ball game, he shows up. We talked about what he did in that 7-on-7 tournament there in Ames. They said he can catch this football in the flat. That's exactly what he did there. So,
well, he caught the ball and he made some nice moves after he caught it, although getting out of bounds at the top of the clock might be more important at this point.
this kid is definitely versatile. Back to pass is Kennedy. He's looking out left side. fires. It's complete. Out to Tony Sturgill. Sturgill breaks some tackles. Gets it out to the 40-yard line. A 23-yard completion from Kennedy to Sturgill. 23 yards gives him a first down, stops the clock, gets him inside Saints territory. There's 4.5 minutes to go in this ball game, John.
He didn't get out of bounds, so yeah, once they get the chains moved, they're going to start the clock again. Get the play call, Coach. Come on.
In the ball game comes Alex Berg, 6'1" junior. Out to the right side is Rocca and Grenko. Left side is Sabres. I formation. Back to pass is Kennedy. He's under pressure. Lose one guy. Goes out to his left. Can't get a hold of the other guy. Get loose from the other guys. He's sacked around the 50-yard line, and he's brought down by number 44, and that is Austin Showalter for the Saints. So that's going to be a loss of 9 and going to bring up a 2nd and 19. And just when you have the great play forward for 23, you lose 9.
Well, and that's just the thing. These quarterbacks don't have the experience yet. They got to learn when they get out there that they got to try and find somebody close so they can get the ball, throw it, get an incompletion, stop the clock.
Grenko and Rocket to the right side. Kennedy back to pass. He has some time. Still has some time. Directing track, rolling out to his right side. Finally tucked it down. Going to run a little bit, and he's hit out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So he's going to pick up about 3 on the play, make it a 3rd and 14 situation. Ball at the 45-yard line.
Well, at least he's smart enough to get out of the bounds and stop the clock that time with 3.5 left.
Had some time there, was trying to direct traffic there for his receivers, but when he finally decided to bring it down, it was just too late. There's just nowhere for him to go.
Well, I think Xavier recognizes that that's what City's going to be doing is throwing, so they're rushing with about 4 guys and putting 7 of them back there in the pass patterns.
Jen comes out, split to the left side. Tyson Worth in at the fullback situation, and the flags are flying. It's going to be an offsides penalty.
There's that illegal procedure again.
Yeah, I call that offside still. I know offsides is on the defense. 3:32 to play in the ball game, and going backwards is City High. Need to be going forward as they're right near the midfield stripe at the Xavier 49-yard line. Kennedy comes in with the play from the sidelines. They trail by 10, 17-7.
Unless he's going to snap it quick.
Sabres out to the right side. I formation. Sturgill in the slot. Jen out to the left side. Quick pass left side goes to Sturgill. Almost.
That was going for a
behind him
touchdown
there.
if he could have just caught it. He had a little bit behind him.
Yep, if he throws that one step ahead of him, he's split the receivers, and with Tony Sturgill's speed,
There was
he
nobody
can't be
down
gone.
there to cover him.
Brings up a 4th and 18, and
Well, they got to
you
go.
got to go for it in this situation, you would figure. This is your last chance with 3:29 to play in the ball game. And this is really where you need that crowd support behind you. They got to get up here and get some support here for the Little Hawks and make some noise here and hope for a big play as they're facing a 4th and forever, 4th and 18. They come out with twin receivers to the left side. Sabres to the right side. I formation. Kennedy under center. He goes back. He rolls out to his left. Pressure behind him. He doesn't see him. He's sacked. The ball is loose. And they're going to say it's an incomplete pass as he was brought down from behind there by Bo Risk, number 64 from the Saints. Kennedy never saw him. He just beat his blocker from the right side there. Came right on through.
He couldn't see him coming around.
Right.
He was taking a long time to set up and throw the ball down. 18 yards is a lot of ground to make up, and he needed to get it down there,
Here
so
in
he
the
had to
last
wait.
second, the City High player comes on, so they're not set in their defensive formation, and that's not going to please Coach Sabres. But they rack him up at the, call it the 45-yard line, a gain of 4.
Got to call timeout.
Back at City High Field, it's City High trailing by 10, 17-7. 3:09 to play in the ball game. Xavier with the football. They have it at the 44-yard line of City High. The give is to the second man through. That is Appleby, and he's still on his feet. The ball is loose. It's still loose. City High near the football, and they're going to have the football. They're jumping around. Let's see who comes up with that. Looks like number 22, Phil Kinney, comes up with it.
Well, he's Johnny on the spot with the ball. That ball was just running around all over the field. Like a Mexican jumping bean.
I believe it was Kenny that came up with it, wasn't it?
It looked like that way.
So Kenny putting himself into the running for player of the game with an interception there and a fumble recovery.
And some good good kickoff returns.
Exactly. 3 minutes to play in this ball game. City High has the ball on their own 33-yard line. 1st and 10 situation. Jen comes out to the left side, along with Grenko. Out to the right side is Sabres. I formation.
Yeah, they just take forever.
And again, a delay of game call. Mercy.
I mean, I don't mind run the quarterback to the sideline to get it, but when you just kind of loaf into this, you got to hustle back in and get that play called and get everybody set, especially if you want to check the defense and look at some things and see who's the hot receiver.
Tyson Worth at fullback. Taylor, your tailback. Under pressure is Kennedy, and he is going to be brought down from behind as big number 72, Peyton Reynolds, in there on the sack, and that's going to bring him back to the 25-yard line, a loss of 8. Clock is ticking, 2:35, and it's still running.
Well, they only have one timeout left to use.
Ball's at the 24-yard line. 2nd and 18 situation. 2 receivers left side, single receiver to the right side, I formation. Kennedy back to pass. Screen play, it's complete to Rock up the middle. He's out to the 30, to the 35, out near the 40. So a 16-yard completion there from Kennedy to Rocca, and he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down for the Little Hawks. 2:07 and counting as the Little Hawks trail by 10. Now we're at the 2-minute mark. Sabres going out to the right side. Grenko to the left side. Jen there as well. I formation. Tyson Worth is the fullback. Back to pass. Looking left. Throwing to Grenko. Grenko can't handle it. Just shy of the 50.
Would have been a first down.
That's going to bring up a 4th and 3 situation. Obviously have to go for it here with 1:45 to go in the ball game.
Well, they don't have a lot of ground to make for the first down, but they need to get it out, bound, stop the clock.
Yeah. They have abandoned the running game pretty much so far.
Well, you got.
You have to.
At this point, yeah.
Yep, you have to. Sabres out to the left side. 2 receivers out to the right side. Back to pass is Kennedy. He's under some pressure. He steps up. He fires. And it's complete out to Joel Rocca. And he has it out near the 35-yard line. So a big completion there. In fact, that he has it at the 45-yard line.
McCarthy on the coverage for Xavier.
That's going to be a 15-yard completion. 14 this
14.
season. Of course, I'm wrong.
Whatever they say, right?
Right. Clock in motion again. Kennedy under center. He goes back to pass. Wings it out to the right side. It's broken up there by Austin Showalter as the pass was intended for Sturgill there. That will stop the clock with 1:32 to play and bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Little Hawks.
It's almost like he's geared for whatever receiver is supposed to catch it right away, getting that pass off, trying to get as much or as little time as possible used. But I think he had Sabres open on the other side of the field.
And you don't have time to sit and,
That's right.
and deliberate who you're going to throw to. We're at crunch time here, so you got to find the quickest man open. Get your hot receiver and go to him. Kennedy comes up under center. Back to pass again. He's looking to the right this time, looks left. Throwing deep over the middle. That's almost picked off as that one was attempted for Ryan Grenko.
Broken up by John
And it's
Gepper.
broken up by John Geppert for the Saints. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation. Clock stops with 1:25 to play in the ball game. Trailing by 10, 17-7 is City High. Sturgill checking into the ball game, brings the play into Kennedy.
Oh no, they're bringing. That guy can't come in. They broke the huddle. He can't do that.
Yeah, and that's what the coaches are saying. And now they're making a substitution with
They
Sabres
can't
coming
do that.
off,
They
and the
can't.
officials aren't calling
Yeah.
it. Now they finally call it. But once they broke the huddle, you cannot make that substitution. As Jen came off and on, and Sabres came off, and again, personnel issues cost them a 5-yard penalty. but we could hear the coaches above us start screaming, saying, "You can't do that." They must be directly above us because it's not real soundproof up here. I heard it pretty well.
I know, you just can't walk somebody on and walk
No.
somebody off after they break the huddle.
Good work if you can get it, but no. So no time went off the clock. 5 yards did
But 5 yards went off.
went away. Makes it a 3rd and 15. Now the ball is at the 49-yard line of the Saints. Jen to the left side.
I think there's a lot of mice above us.
Tyson Worth, the fullback. Taylor, your tailback. Out to the right side is number 15, Sturgill, number 14, Rocca. Your quarterback is Ryan Kennedy. And they're still trying to figure out where we're going to place this football, and now they move it to the 46-yard line. Okay. I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not either. I don't understand, but I don't.
Hard is not to wonder why. Kennedy back to pass, rolls out to the left, looks for his receiver, has it, and it's dropped right there by Jen. Had it in the breadbasket there, couldn't hold on to it. Brings up a 4th and 10 situation with 1:19 to go in this ball game. And again, another dual football team.
They have the players. They just need to grow and learn together and get some things accomplished. They can still come out of this on top.
Kennedy back to pass, has some time. Looks to his left, getting the receiver over there. He throws to Grenko, and it's almost broken up there by Showalter. And that's going to turn the ball over to Xavier. And barring a miracle here, that's time to start thinking about your Jarrett Newton Allstate Insurance player of the game there, John. To me, it's narrowed down to 2.
Well,
Altmaier and Kenny.
Right. Oh, now here we go again on defense. Same person running in.
Happened the same time. Tight formation, just back taking a knee is Sayre, and almost coming in there with a late hit is Adam Collins. Collins was the one that was running onto the field late. As Sayre takes a knee, then gets hit by Collins, but they're going to say that he probably could not have stopped in time.
I think that's right.
Making that hit, so.
Off of 4 yards on the play.
So keeps the clock moving. It's inside 45 seconds.
And it looks like City High is not going to stop it.
No. At this point, there's probably not a whole lot you can do. A lot of lessons you can learn from this ball game, though.
Oh, yeah, a lot of things we can pick up, a lot of things we've learned. Finally got in a game situation so they know exactly what mistakes they need to correct.
Sayre again takes a knee, and he's going to lose another yard, and that's going to
And that should be it by the time they get the clock set.
Yep, that's going to be the ball game. And Xavier's going to go on to win it by a score of 17-7. So Xavier's going to go on for their first one of the year and be 1-0, and City High is going to be 0-1.
Well, it's not the end of the season for City High. They've got a lot of games left to play.
It's early.
Usually in 4A, 2, 3, 4 losses sometimes even makes it into the playoffs. So they've got a long road to haul. They've got a lot of things to correct, but they are correctable things. It's not like they don't have a good team. It's just that they have some mistakes they need to correct, and then I think they can come out on top.
So that's going to wrap up the ball game here. We'll be back with our post-game show. We're going to take the first of our 2-minute post